Let's try that again. I don't know exactly what happened. But I wanted you guys, since it's Friday, I wanted you to have the opportunity to gather some of your supplies, or you could even go shopping if that would be fun. We're going to be doing this wonderful thing. Do you love it? Do you love it? It's maize, which is Indian corn. So I thought I would give you some ideas of what of the supplies that you will be needing. And of course, you don't have to go out and buy a lot of things. I'm going to give you a lot of options of different items that you can use. So one thing that is a staple for me is this 9-inch by 12-inch cold press watercolor paper. And I don't see who, I see someone. Anyway, so you'll need some of that, and you'll need this pretty much throughout the whole thing. Hey, Donna. So that will be a staple that we'll need. Also, you guys know that I do a lot of watercolor, and it does not have to be fancy, expensive watercolor. This is one of my favorite palettes, y'all. It's just, I'm not sure where I got it, but it wasn't very fancy. Also, just some basic brushes. You will not need much to get started with. We're going to add along as we go, but you'll need a flat and you'll need a round. You guys know that I love this gigantic round. You don't have to have that, but a very small round would be good as well. So that's kind of a basic set that you can get started with. You will also need, I like to, especially when I'm doing watercolor, I like to tape my piece down. It holds it flat. It makes it a little easier to paint. Also, if it's wet, you can just pick it up and move it. So I like to use these plastic flexible cutting boards from Dollar Tree, just anywhere. They have them anywhere. So that is a very useful, simple thing and you can find it anywhere. Or you could just use a plain cutting board. You don't have to go out and buy special stuff. I'm going to give you options. I also like to use painter's tape. This happens to be frog tape. You could use other tape and you just pat it on your clothing to get the fuzz on off your clothing, and it will keep it from sticking so much so that it tears the paper. It will hold it down, but it doesn't tear it. So those are very useful items. The watercolor paper, the plastic cutting board, the tape, watercolor, brushes. You will need a container of water and some paper towels. Some of you, this is too basic, but some of you it's not. So we're gonna kind of get everyone up to speed. I like to use this as my palette, but sometimes with watercolor, I also like to use something like this because it has the wells and it will hold, if you make a special color, like I took and I made special fall colors for this particular one. And that way it keeps them from running into each other. It is not necessary. You can also use just paper plate if you want to. Also, something that's really important besides a pencil is a permanent black pen. And I don't mean a Sharpie. You can use a Sharpie, but Sharpie gives you a little bit different look. It's got kind of a metallic look to it. So I really like to use a micron, but any permanent pen will do for this. And how you know it's permanent is you take it and you draw it on your paper and then put water on it. And if it bleeds, it's not permanent. And there are times that we're going to be using pen that is not permanent on purpose because we're going to make it bleed, but not for this one tomorrow. I mean, next week. So this one happens to be a number 8 micron. and I'll show you how tiny it is. It's really quite small. Because with watercolor, it's really fun to add the extra details, and it's kind of a scribbly thing. So a small pen will really work. So I think that'll get you. Oh, and you need a way to transfer your template, because in a little bit I'm going to put up your template and the supply list and the reference photo. But think about think about a way to transfer your letters, because they're quite uniform. This is really free, but this is kind of uniform. So you can transfer ways. You can use carbon paper, not my favorite. You can put it up against a window on your computer screen and trace it through. But if you find yourself at Dollar Tree, this is a light box. I have this on there because it's very dainty. It's very inexpensive, that's why. But this works wonderful. So if you happen to find, they're not but like $5. So if you're not ready to invest in something like that, you don't have to. You can use the window, okay? But I just wanted to let you know things that are available, things that are out there. And as we go and as we grow this year, then you'll start to accumulate some things that are a little bit different. All right? So thank you so much again. Thanks, Donna, for coming. And I'm going to post the template and everything so you guys can get started and get ready for next week. Thanks.